Many people resonated with the words of an elderly person who turned 80 this year. It's not sad to get old. It's sad to be in pain. Like everyone else, I wish for days of healthy living rather than a weakened existence that lasts until 100. But why do some people have a longer health span while others have a shorter one? According to research published in 2023 by the American Healthcare System, those in their 60s who practice healthy lifestyle habits, such as exercise, can live up to 18 years longer and healthier than those who do not. As we age, the difference in whether we practice healthy habits becomes increasingly significant. However, I believe you've heard plenty about exercise and nutritional supplements elsewhere. So today, I would like to share 7 essential pieces of advice for life based on the book by an expert who has been engaged in mental care for the elderly for over 30 years. I am confident that this information will greatly assist you in leading a healthy and vibrant senior life. I would appreciate it if you could hit the like and subscribe buttons once each below the video. Now let's get started. 1. Spending money is the best anti-aging method. As we age, playing and spending money for health takes on significant meaning. However, we often think that elderly people should live modestly and sometimes criticize them for going to karaoke on a pension. But going out and having fun stimulates the frontal lobes. Enjoyment can also positively impact immune function. Therefore, it can be said that elderly individuals should actually play more. When young people drive sports cars, parents look on and think, they must be living well, but when elderly people do the same, they might feel a little embarrassed. However, in their 70s, they should be bold. This age group, as long as they are not holed up at home, is suitable for various things, whether male or female. They can indulge in luxury and look good in both formal and casual wear. Moreover, after turning 70, they can enjoy various worlds and expand their options. For instance, they can utilize hats, glasses, scarves, and mufflers to add their own sense of style. Accessories that may not have suited them in their youth can surprisingly look good when they are in their 70s. Again, they should be proactive in their 70s. Feeling good when others recognize their sense of style can lead to more active behavior, enhancing their sense of fulfillment by meeting people. Thinking that one is just growing old and getting tired in their 70s is a waste. It's an age where traveling alone looks good, and sitting alone at a bar counter also suits them well. They can look good at art galleries, museums, and racecourses, regardless of gender. By continuing to go out like this, they gradually discover places they enjoy and times that are fun. Rather than thinking about what to inherit to children, let's think about how to use money for oneself. We have worked hard to earn money until now. From now on, please spend it for yourself. 2. One characteristic of people who suddenly age in their 70s is that the working environment for elderly individuals is gradually improving, with recent retirement age extensions and reemployment opportunities. Many people in their 70s are retiring from their jobs. A typical example of someone who suddenly ages in their 70s is a person who stops all activities at once after retirement. Some people look forward to their retirement day, thinking, I've worked myself to the bone, so I want to do nothing and just laze around at home. However, if someone who has been active until the age of 70 retires without any thought about how to live afterward, they tend to age rapidly. While working, they engage in intellectual activities and conversations with others on a daily basis and encounter various tasks. However, if they just stay at home, those brain activities cease, increasing the risk of dementia. Even in office jobs, commuting involves more physical activity than one might think. However, if someone in their 70s stays at home after retirement, their physical abilities will significantly decline within a month. Engaging in local community activities or serving as a manager in an apartment management association can also be good options. Volunteering can be a way to participate in society after retirement. Working with others, being helpful to someone, and feeling needed plays a critical role in maintaining a sense of being active. In other words, just because you are in your 70s doesn't mean you should consider retiring again. Maintaining a sense of being active is important. This will help prevent sudden aging in your 70s. Instead of thinking of yourself as a retired employee, Why not consider yourself a new employee? 3. One of the most dangerous signals that come in your 70s is that although many people in this age group may appear healthy, there are numerous risks that lurk beneath, with the most significant risk being a decline in motivation. As mentioned earlier, it's vital to continue using your functions and physical capabilities to maintain them. While people in their 40s and 50s may not see immediate declines in their functions or mobility from inactivity, those in their 70s can experience rapid aging if they do not stay active. If they do not move their bodies or engage their brains actively, they face a high risk of requiring nursing care services. This is something many elderly people are aware of. However, not many can actually put continued activity into practice. This is because upon reaching their 70s, even if they understand the importance of activity, motivational decline sets in and activity levels drop. They may find themselves not wanting to do anything, losing interest, or avoiding social interactions. In fact, this decline in motivation can be considered the most terrifying aspect of aging. While aging due to illness or injury can happen to anyone, aging suddenly can often stem from a natural decline in motivation as one grows older. This decline in motivation may become particularly pronounced in one's 70s. How well one can prevent this decline in motivation in their 70s is crucial. Occasionally, how about adopting a habit of walking down the street and shouting, "Keep it up," to yourself? 4. Your 70s are the last chance to battle aging. In an era where people are expected to live for 100 years, maintaining brain function is essential to spend the long years of aging healthily. It is also necessary to maintain the physical capabilities developed in your 70s well into your 80s. Therefore, how you spend your 70s is key. Less than 10% of people in their early 70s are likely to develop dementia or require care. Unless one suffers a serious injury or illness, most people can do the same things they did in their 50s and 60s. By consciously spending the active phase of life in your 70s, you can maintain youthfulness in your brain and body, delaying the time when you will require nursing services. It can be said that this is the most crucial time for smoothly transitioning into a healthy 80s. From now on, I believe we need to think of aging in two distinct phases: fighting aging in our 70s and accepting it in our 80s. There will inevitably come a time in our 80s when we must accept aging, no matter how much we fight it. Even when that time comes, if we continue to wish to live young, we will ultimately be plagued by feelings of frustration. After the age of 85, the need for assistance will likely increase, and that's when one should consider it appropriate to embrace one's aging reality. Still, there is no need to feel disappointed or dislike oneself for aging past 80. Rather, we should view it as facing aging during a fulfilling long life without succumbing to serious illness or accidents. On the other hand, people in their 70s tend to be more vibrant and are still at a stage where they can actively fight aging. Striving to be healthy has significant effects and meaning in one's 70s. If one wishes to maintain good health into their 80s, sustaining quality of life, keeping the body somewhat active, and maintaining mental clarity, careful consideration of how to spend one's 70s is necessary. Daily efforts during this time can greatly influence the quality of life in one's 80s and beyond. Life is determined by our choices. Always remember that aging is also something you can choose. 5. Instead of going on a diet, let's restore a body that doesn't gain weight. After middle age, there is a tendency to gain weight, and many people try to restrict their diets. However, as we age, the impact on our bodies can often be negative. I would like you to reconsider the perspective of adding what is missing rather than restricting. Dieting can be dangerous and can lead to 3 negative cycles. First, the body becomes predisposed to gaining fat. When we diet, our body tends to change to a state where it easily stores fat. When we become malnourished due to dietary restrictions, our body reduces energy expenditure to survive on minimal energy. This is a function that all people have, which is why some can survive in the mountains or while drifting at sea. However, if you become the kind of body that absorbs minimal calories to the maximum while dieting, any slight excess in calories can lead to easy rebound weight gain. In other words, you are adjusting your body to be one that easily stores fat. Second, dietary restrictions can lead to insufficient intake of necessary nutrients. When dietary restrictions are applied, overall nutrient intake can drop. If you lack nutrients such as protein, cholesterol, and fats, you may appear thinner on the outside. However, your skin may lose its luster, you may develop more gray hair, and your hair density may decrease, leading to a frail appearance. This may make you look older instead. Third, the condition of your cells deteriorates. In other words, negative occurrences begin to happen at the cellular level. Most organisms generate energy by breaking down sugars through related cycles. Humans are no exception. It is crucial to metabolize the substances obtained through this cycle using oxygen. Various enzymes, coenzymes, and vitamins are necessary to keep this cycle running smoothly. In a diet where food intake is restricted, these are naturally insufficient, leading to parts of the cycle not functioning correctly. 6. Stop comparing yourself to friends. By the time you reach your 70s, 10% of the population in that age group will have dementia. The remaining 90% will become distinctly aware of the differences between healthy individuals and those with issues regarding brain function. As discussed in Techniques Concerning Depression, circumstances surrounding individuals in their 70s can vary greatly in terms of appearance and social situations. Therefore, it is easy to feel inferior by thinking, compared to my friends, which can be a significant burden for some. This is because recognizing individual differences in one's 70s essentially means accepting aging. There is not a single person in this world who is exactly the same as another. Everyone is slightly different. As long as you compare yourself to others, you cannot escape that pain. Rather than being troubled about what others can do that you cannot, it is far healthier to think positively about what you can do now. Being bound by the values of higher social status or looking younger, which may have been relevant in your 50s or 60s, is not beneficial. I believe it is wiser to explore your own life rather than compare yourself to others. 7. The habits you acquire will save your later life. By consciously continuing to use your functions and physical abilities in your 70s, you can delay the time you will need nursing services in your 80s and 90s. First, you need to avoid a decline in activity levels and motivation, activating your frontal lobes and body. To do this, it is important to establish a habit of continuous use. Many people retire around the age of 70, which especially eliminates reasons to move their bodies or engage their brains. In other words, from this time onward, if one does not intentionally use their brain and body, maintaining brain and physical functions becomes impossible. Moreover, there is another reason why forming habits in your 70s is crucial. The habits formed in your 70s tend to continue into your 80s and throughout your life. For example, those who make it a habit to walk regularly in their 70s will continue to do so in their 80s. Those who decide to swim or engage in some activity in their 70s will likely continue that as long as they have the physical strength in their 80s. Even if they can no longer go hiking, the desire to do something else to keep moving will be something they carry for life. Not only exercise, but also hobbies such as watching theater, painting, playing Go or shogi, and poetry can be sustained into one's 80s if they become a habit in the 70s. It may be quite difficult for someone who did nothing in their 70s to establish new habits in their 80s, as physical functions tend to decline further and motivation to start new things decreases. Therefore, it is vital to acquire good habits during your 70s, when you still retain similar physical functions and motivation as in your working years. If people in their 70s are left to their own devices, they risk aging rapidly without doing anything. Thus, it is essential to be intentionally active to maintain those functions. By consciously forming good habits during this time, you can maintain a vibrant state even into your 80s. I will continue with the broadcast while keeping this book close. Life has its ups and downs in many different senses. Whether you are going up or down, Whether you are happy or not depends on your perspective. For instance, in the final stages of life, one often receives nursing services or help from children. If you perceive this as something shameful, it will be unfortunate, but if you see it as something to be grateful for, then it is happiness. A newborn baby can do nothing but is cherished. Of course, they're inherently cute because they are sparkling and plump, but I think their cuteness also comes from the fact that they accept everything and rely on others. People are born this way, grow up, and die while receiving care in their final moments. This is a natural course of life. I chose psychiatry because I was interested in the existence of humans. That's why, at the age of 28, I ended up working at a hospital specializing in geriatrics run by an acquaintance. In clinical practice, knowledge from medical books and papers does not suffice. The patients themselves are the living textbooks. Everyone in this world has their own life drama, and everyone is the protagonist of their own story. The misfortune of being affected by illness can happen to anyone. I have come to realize that every person is unique, and there is no such thing as an inherently superior or inferior life. As a mental health professional guiding patients, I have, in return, received profound lessons from them. While I do not say to approach life like a baby, I believe that ultimately, being able to accept things with gratitude leads to happiness. Additionally, if there is another hint about happiness, it is the sight of a young baby enjoying themselves. Babies become engrossed in trivial things, laugh heartily, and possess the ability to enjoy anything. The answer to what happiness is may differ for everyone, but I believe the ultimate happiness is indeed the ability to enjoy. It is through enjoyment that we can truly achieve a fulfilling life spanning 100 years. This is a short thought I keep nearby, but one of the best lines from the book is, "Happiness is the ability to enjoy." The notion that feeling happiness is also a form of ability resonated deeply with me. A part of me remains impressed by the idea that not being able to enjoy things as an adult stems from not learning that joy from adults in childhood, as seen in the comics I read. We often assume that simply earning a lot of money will elevate our status and make us happy, but that is fleeting, and we return to our baseline state of happiness. Ultimately, I believe that a healthy and happy life hinges on our daily choices. Even starting small changes today can lead to significant differences over time. As we age, caring about our health is not merely about living longer. It is about spending each day in a more vibrant and meaningful way. A healthy body and mind allow us to spend more time with our loved ones.